Good afternoon, Fin fans, and welcome back to another episode of AT Phins News. Today we're going to be discussing our 14th head coach and Mike McDaniel. So without further ado, let's just get right into it, shall we? So you know my takes throughout the videos of us searching for a head coach. I always wanted a veteran head coach that had a coaching tree that can put together a good staff. But the Miami Dolphins went on another route. They went after and secured their guy in Mike McDaniel. I'm not going to jump on here and bash the guy. I think from all reports, if you do your research, he's a well-respected coach in this league. It seems like he's a player's coach. A lot of the players really like playing for him. They talk about his innovations. He's a really bright mind offensively. The only thing that worries me about the hire is that from all reports, the San Francisco beat writers, they were saying that he's never called any plays in the NFL. He's a run game coordinator / offensive coordinator, but Kyle Shanahan was the one calling the plays for the San Francisco 49ers. So we just got to wait and see and hope that he's a savant like everyone's saying he is. But as far as all the reputable sources go, he is a great offensive mind. He's hoping to get the most out of Tua. I'm sure you guys all seen the video where he FaceTimed Tua and talking about how it's his job to get the most out of him, and he's going to prove it to him by gaining his respect. And those are all great signs. A quarterback and a coach have to be on the same page, same wavelength. They have to have a good relationship. And it just seemed, even though Brian Flores was a great defensive mind, he really didn't have, like I was always saying, a grasp on the offensive side. So, man, hopefully Mike McDaniel can come in here and turn it around. But as far as him not ever calling plays, that's a skill set that it's just hard to come out the gate and become a first-time play caller. So I'm just hoping that he can go with the flow as far as on the offensive side of the ball, seeing the adjustments he needs to make and make them. The bright side about Mike McDaniel, I told you guys from my previous streams, if we were going to get a first-time head coach, even though that's not the route I was leaning towards, Mike McDaniel is probably the guy for me. And the only reason I say that, guys, is that if you look at his track record, he's going to come in here and he's going to build this line the right way. He's going to put players in positions that can be successful. And if you just look at the 49ers offensive line, they had a physical offensive line. They were able to open up holes for the running backs. It doesn't really matter in the Shanahan tree, just in general. It didn't really matter what running back they have back there. I mean, they all produced. Look at Elijah Mitchell this year. He was a 6th-round pick. He came out of nowhere, and he was like top 3 in rushing yards in the whole NFL. If you just look at previous years, even Breda, remember he was on the Dolphins a couple years ago, and we were all excited about that because he did really well in the San Francisco scheme, but he just wasn't the same player without that line. So we do know Mike McDaniel's track record. He is going to bring a physical offensive line. He's going to fix this line. He's not going to have 3 starters that are hurting this offense get the ball moving. So that's a positive in itself, just because our fan base, if you guys noticed, last year and the previous year, all we were complaining about is the line, how they're trash, they're bums. So Mike McDaniel's going to solve that for sure. As far as another positive with Mike McDaniel, he focuses on the running game to open up the passing game, and that is probably the biggest thing Tua's going to need to have a successful NFL career. And if Mike McDaniel can come in here and change that culture and be a physical running team, and then it opens up the play action, I mean, Tua can benefit from this hire greatly. And from all reports, we're going to stick with Tua at least this year and see what he got. So hopefully Mike McDaniel can come in and he can unlock something that we haven't seen from Tua in the previous 2 years. Maybe this is all Tua needs. He needed that confidence with coach believing in him, as far as believing that he can lead this team to the promised land. Maybe it was more in his head because he was trying so hard to impress the Dolphins organization, to show that he is the guy. But now that he has a full endorsement, because if you guys don't know, in that FaceTime video with Tua, that was the biggest endorsement Tua has got as far as being on the Miami Dolphins since he was drafted. I mean, you've seen all these reports out after Flores filed that lawsuit about the organization really never believed in him because they were trying to go get, from the report, what was it, Tom Brady was supposed to meet with Flores. And that was before they were in that draft, but still, the fact that Stephen Ross wanted to go out and get Tom Brady shows that if they really believed in sticking at number 5 and they can get Tua, what's the need to go out and get a aging quarterback, even though, of course, he's the GOAT, but still, if you believed in Tua coming into that draft, then there would be no need to go get Tom Brady. And then all the reports, of course, with the Deshaun Watson thing. I think the Deshaun Watson rumors now, they're going to be, they're completely dead. I don't see the Dolphins going after Deshaun Watson. I would actually be surprised now if they took a run at him. I think it's going to be just Tua and Mike McDaniel and see if they can work some magic. But hopefully they can, because, I mean, you know, we all want this team to be successful. You just got to love the guy's energy, though, Mike McDaniel. I've seen a couple of his interviews now. He has that swagger. He's a young coach. He's innovative. And players like to play for him. And that's the kind of coach right now that the Dolphins organization needs badly, just because of all the situations surrounding this franchise with the whole tanking. I mean, I was talking in my previous stream about good luck trying to get players to come here now because of all this stuff going on. But the only way players are going to actually come play for the Dolphins and choose them in free agency is if they have a respectable head coach. And from all reports, like I said, Mike McDaniel is highly respected in this league. And he's not coming here to fail, even though he's the first-time coach. You can just tell by his energy. He expects to be successful here. He's already said that he likes the young talent that is already in place for the Dolphins. But with the young talent, he also said, which was very important to me, that there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of teaching to be done, and he welcomes the challenge. So that means he's a grinder. He's going to get into the building. He's going to coach up these guys. He's going to try to get the best out of each player, and that's all you can ask for as a head coach. So it's a good day, man. It's a good time to be a Dolphins fan. Thankfully, we got a head coach now, so we can move on and try to put this team together, or build this team to compete next year, because we don't want to see a regression where we don't even have a winning record, right? So hopefully he can come in. He's probably going to bring in some coaches from San Francisco. He just brought in the tight ends coach that was released from San Francisco after the season. And I mean, he's been a tight ends coach for 15 years. He did turn George Kittle into a beast, even though George Kittle was a beast in college. I think he was just one of those dudes. He was going to be good anywhere he went, but still, he got the most out of him. So maybe he can come in here with the tight ends we have now, and change the culture. I don't see probably Gesicki being here, just because they focus so much on the running game, and they love to have tight ends that can block, as well as the receivers. That's going to be a big challenge in the offense that they're going to be running. It requires receivers to block. So if they can't get down and dirty, those receivers are probably going to be gone. They want some gritty receivers that are physical, that can get after it and block to open up the running game. So that's something that we're going to have to look at in free agency. Maybe get some of those gritty receivers that are hard-nosed, that aren't scared to block at all. But as far as our tight ends that we have now, maybe he can unlock something in Hunter Long. You know, he was our draft pick last year. We got to see more of him later in the year, but maybe he can unlock something with that, and we can have a nice blocking and receiving tight end, because that's what's really hurting us. Even though Smythe is a lot better now at blocking and catching. He kind of had a breakout year this year, but if we can unlock something with Hunter Long, because the talent's there, you can see it. He's a great route runner. He's good at blocking. He just needs to get a little more physical, a little stronger, but that comes with time. But hopefully, that the new assistant coach that just came in today can unlock something with him. But guys, other than that, I mean, I overall, I think it was a good hire. I think, honestly, I think Mike McDaniel is going to be a better head coach than Brian Daboll was, because I just think he's going to flame out. I wasn't too thrilled that was Miami Dolphins' first choice, they said, but I'm glad that he chose to go to the Giants just because he was in Miami before. I didn't really see anything special with him developing quarterbacks. When we had our quarterbacks, he wasn't that. I mean, he didn't make any big difference here. So I think he just got attached to a really good quarterback in Josh Allen in Buffalo. So he's kind of riding his coattails. But you just got to like the swagger Mike McDaniel brings, and hopefully that translates to everyone in the organization and in the locker room having that swagger and having that confidence that each and every game they have a chance to win because they game plan better than each team. So, but we're going to wait and see on that. But overall, it's a good hire. I'm just interested to see who he's going to bring in for his offensive coordinator, and if they're going to keep the defensive staff intact, or is he going to go get a new defensive coordinator? I mean, it would be great to see if he could go out and get like Vic Fangio. That's a great defensive mind, and he's been a head coach. Mike McDaniel can kind of rely on him for the head coaching nuances of the game, because a lot of it isn't just about X's and O's as a head coach. It's about managing the whole team in general. So that would be a great hire if they can somehow find a way to get Vic Fangio in there. As far as Alexander goes, our DB coach, there's word out there that he might be accepting the Jacksonville Jaguars defensive coordinator position, with Doug Peterson just getting the head coaching job. That would be a big hit for our defense, just because I think Alexander was probably our best defensive coach, of course, minus Brian Flores, but a position coach, Alexander is a really good position coach, and if we lose him, it's going to be tough, but we'll see what Mike McDaniel can do as far as hiring a good staff together, because, you know, that's the biggest worry I always had was the first-time head coaches, they usually don't have a big Rolodex where they have all these coaches that they can just pick from because they're new coaches. So it's kind of growing pains with that, but hopefully we can get a couple good names in here and build a staff where we can be competitive, man. That's all we ask for, right? But other than that, guys, I'll be back. If anything breaks, I'll be back to give you the information. But like always, guys, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. If you guys can please just hit that like button. And whoever is new to the channel, if you've just seen it, if you can hit that subscribe button, guys, just so we can help grow this channel organically. But other than that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Fins up. I'm out. Peace.